Roof Max of Hickory, affordable roof rejuvenation. Visit MakeMyRoofLast.com.
I'm Rob Eastwood here on the WHKY News, where it is time for our weekly look back at some of the crime stories we had for you during the week of June 9th through June 13th. Let's get started.
An arrest has been made in an Alexander County case in which shots were reportedly fired. 44-year-old Christopher Edward Brick of Taylorsville was arrested Friday by Alexander County Sheriff's officers. He's charged with robbery with a dangerous weapon and assault by pointing a gun. Shortly before 1 a.m. Friday, the Alexander County 911 Center received a call reporting shots fired at a residence while individuals were inside. Officers arrived at the scene and spoke with the victims, who identified the suspect as Christopher Brick. After further investigation, it was determined that the victim and Brick know each other and were disputing over property. Brick allegedly went to the residence with a firearm and stole property. As the suspect was leaving, he reportedly fired 3 shots. No individuals were injured, and initial findings indicate no residence was hit. Brick was incarcerated in the Alexander County Detention Center under no bond. A district court date is scheduled for Monday. A man is charged with shooting into homes of neighbors. 30-year-old Zachary Ryan Gardner of English Oak Drive in Lincolnton was arrested Saturday and charged with 10 felony counts of shooting into occupied property. On Saturday, deputies with the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office arrested a man after shots were fired at neighbors' homes. The incident occurred near his address, 3800 of English Oak Drive in Lincolnton. Deputies say a man shot in the direction of 2 occupied homes in the neighborhood, hitting at least one multiple times. Detectives from the Criminal Investigations Division responded and executed a search warrant for the suspect's residence, seizing multiple firearms and ammunition. According to detectives, the man was shooting from inside his residence through his front and side doors in the direction of 2 different neighbors' houses. Both neighbors' houses were occupied at the time the shots were fired. No one was injured in the shooting. Gardner received a no-bond hold and was placed in the Harvin A. Krause Detention Center. A lengthy federal prison sentence has been imposed in a child porn case investigated by Boone Police. A previously convicted sex offender who served as the administrator of an online chat room dedicated to sharing child sexual abuse material, 24-year-old Nicholas Tyler Banks of Burnsville was sentenced to 188 months in prison Thursday for distributing child pornography. During the investigation, law enforcement determined that Banks was using a commonly available chat application to share images and videos depicting the sexual abuse of children in a chat room. All the files shared by Banks were made available for all users of the chat room to view, download, and further distribute. A Hickory man is charged with firearm and drug offenses. 42-year-old Jared Dwayne Lindsay was arrested Sunday by Catawba County Sheriff's officers. He's charged with felony counts of possession of a firearm by a felon and possession with intent to manufacture, sell, and deliver Schedule II controlled substance, along with the misdemeanor count of possession of drug paraphernalia. Shortly after 2 a.m. Sunday, the Newton Police Department received a call from the Catawba County Communications Center in reference to a shooting at the Outlaw Motorcycle Clubhouse on North Main Avenue in Newton. Upon arrival on the scene, officers found 2 individuals who were suffering from gunshot wounds. Both were transported by Catawba County EMS to the Catawba Valley Medical Center for treatment. One of the gunshot victims passed away as a result of their injuries, and the second victim was flown by helicopter to Atrium Health Medical Center in Charlotte. According to our news partner WACB, investigators say at least 3 dozen bullets were fired from multiple weapons. The deceased individual has been identified as 32-year-old Jordan Castle of Albemarle. The second victim, who was airlifted, remained in critical condition as of the most recent report. According to our news partner, when officers arrived at the scene of the shooting, they were met with approximately 30 individuals who were believed to be armed. No arrests had been reported. The incident remains under investigation. Stay tuned to WHKY.com for updates. I'm Ariana Mack for WHKY. A Statesville man is jailed in Alexander County. 45-year-old Kevin Lynn Waddle of Statesville was arrested by Alexander County Sheriff's officers. He's charged with felony probation violation. He was arrested June 3rd and remained in the Alexander County Detention Center as of earlier June 10th. Waddle is on probation as a result of a conviction in Iredell County in January for felony possession with intent to sell and deliver Schedule II controlled substance. He was given a 24-month suspended sentence. Waddle was being held under a $10,000 secured bond. A Superior Court date is scheduled for July 14th. Waddle also has driving while license revoked charges awaiting trial in both Alexander and Iredell counties. Suspects have been charged with larceny and conspiracy. 46-year-old John Anderson of Gastonia and 35-year-old Anna Jenkins of Huntersville were both arrested by Troutman police officers. Anderson was charged with felony conspiracy, felony larceny, possession of stolen goods, and resisting a public officer. Jenkins was charged with felony conspiracy, felony larceny, and possession of stolen goods, and was also served with outstanding warrants from Gaston County for felony conspiracy and felony larceny. On Friday at approximately 12 p.m., officers responded to a reported larceny at Lowe's Hardware, locating the male and female suspects in the parking lot. As one of the officers began to place the male suspect, John Anderson, under arrest, the suspect struggled with the officer and fled. The officer gave chase and caught up to the suspect, where another struggle began, resulting in both the officer and Anderson falling. Anderson fled on foot again into the store, where he was captured by additional responding officers. The female suspect, Anna Jenkins, was arrested without incident. Anderson received a $5,000 secured bond. His next district court date is July 7th. Jenkins received a $10,000 secured bond and has a district court date scheduled for July 1st. One officer received injuries during the arrest and was treated and released at a local medical facility.
The investigation is continuing into the mass shooting on Walnut Acres Drive June 1st. 8 people were charged in the case overall. 1 person was killed, 58-year-old Sean Patrick Hood of Lenoir. 11 others were injured in the incident. The Catawba County Sheriff's Office released an update today. They say investigative agencies have recovered a number of cell phones during the crime scene investigation at 1125 Walnut Acres Drive. Some of the phones appear to have been lost or discarded during the initial attack. The Sheriff's Office is requesting anyone who believes they lost their phone at that address to contact them at 828-464-3112.
A man who was on the Burke County's most wanted list has been arrested. 35-year-old Lacey Wayne Teague Jr. of Connolly Springs turned himself in to the Burke County Magistrate's office last Friday, and a Burke County Sheriff's deputy charged him with felony obtaining property by false pretense. Bond for Teague was set at $5,000 secured. He was not listed as an inmate as of earlier Wednesday. A Superior Court date is scheduled for July 7th. Teague had been on Burke County's most wanted list since June 3rd, 2025. 45-year-old Christopher Durand Myers was arrested Tuesday by Hickory police officers. He's charged with attempted common law robbery, assault with a deadly weapon, criminal contempt, misdemeanor larceny, and resisting a public officer. A district court date was scheduled for Wednesday.
An update on the mass shooting case. According to the Catawba County Sheriff's Office, Charles Rodell Kincaid III has been arrested on 1 count of attempted first-degree murder. The offense is connected to the alleged crimes Garen Killian, Toland Huff Jr., Zachary Bates, Keandre Mack, and Isaiah Mitchell have been charged with. The suspects are charged in connection to the June 1st mass shooting on Walnut Acres Drive in Mountain View. 58-year-old Sean Patrick Hood of Lenoir was killed in the incident. 11 others were injured. 9 total suspects have now been charged in the case, 6 with attempted murder. The investigation is continuing. If you have information on this case, call the Sheriff's Office 828-464-3112. Topping our news tonight, a human trafficking arrest has been reported. The North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation, or SBI, has announced the arrest of 50-year-old David Kevin Hamilton of Rocky Road in Lenoir. He was arrested yesterday and was charged with felony counts of human trafficking of a juvenile and promoting prostitution of a juvenile. The investigation is ongoing and is being conducted by the SBI's Human Trafficking Unit, with the possibility of additional charges being filed. The SBI is seeking the public's assistance in identifying any additional victims. If anyone has information regarding Hamilton, they are urged to contact their local law enforcement agency or the SBI's Human Trafficking Unit at 919-662-4500. Hamilton voluntarily turned himself in at the Caldwell County Detention Center last night. He was jailed there under a $2 million secured bond. The SBI thanked the Longview Police Department and Caldwell County Sheriff's Office for their assistance in this investigation. Additional information will be released as it becomes available through news conferences, social media, and the SBI website at ncsbi.gov, and of course check our website WHKY.com for updates.
A Hudson man was arrested following a chase. Felony charges have been filed. 40-year-old Christopher Derek McNeely of Hudson was arrested Wednesday by Caldwell County Sheriff's officers. He's charged with felony counts of fleeing to elude arrest and possession of a stolen motor vehicle, along with a count of parole violation. Sheriff Kevin Bean reports that a deputy on routine patrol in the Dudley Shoals area of southern Caldwell County attempted to stop a vehicle driving recklessly at approximately 1 a.m. Wednesday. This driver refused to stop, leading deputies on a nearly 1-hour pursuit through Dudley Shoals, Oak Hill, Deal Mill Road, and into the Sawmills area. Despite running over stop sticks deployed by Alexander County deputies, the suspect continued to flee. The chase ended at Baird Drive and Mission Road, where deputies took McNeely into custody. The vehicle McNeely was driving was confirmed to be stolen. He was placed in the Caldwell County Detention Center under no bond. A district court date was scheduled for Wednesday. McNeely was recently released from prison in January after serving over 10 years for being a habitual felon. 3 Catawba County residents are charged in an Iredell County drug case. 32-year-old Constance Mercado of Conover, 31-year-old Sean Burton Ramsey of Hickory, and 35-year-old Scott Monk of Newton were all arrested by Iredell County Sheriff's officers. All 3 face cocaine charges in addition to other offenses. They were arrested following a traffic stop last Saturday, during which police found approximately 4 grams of cocaine and 65 dosage units of alprazolam. Drug paraphernalia was also found inside the vehicle. 2 suspects have been arrested and another is being sought in a case in Iredell County. On June 5th, deputies with the Iredell County Sheriff's Office responded to the break-in to a residence in eastern Iredell County. The homeowner, who was out of town, contacted the Sheriff's Office after receiving notification from their home security system of people inside their home. 2 people were seen taking items from the home and leaving in a silver passenger car. The suspects were identified as 18-year-old Brandon Adams, 25-year-old Dalen Hallman, and 23-year-old Fred Cox, all of Statesville. Adams and Hallman have been arrested. Authorities were searching for Cox. Much more on this case at WHKY.com.
And that's our review of some of the crime stories we had for you during this past week, June 9th through the 13th. You can find our weekly roundup every Saturday on our YouTube channel. That's where you'll also find our top stories, the crime report, local sports, and community focus. I'm Rob Eastwood. Thank you for watching the WHKY News.